I need a motion to bring the town board workshop meeting of March 14th, 2013 to order.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
That's okay for that.
We'll salute the flag. I pledge allegiance to the
To
flag.
the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
A moment of silence for the military serving in this country and around the world. Thank you. Public comments. A roll call.
Councilwoman Brody.
Here.
Councilwoman Doyle.
Here.
Supervisor Flood.
Here. Any public comment? None?
Public comment.
Peter?
Just following up on the last time I was here. I have some more. Well, I just showed Bill a quote for the insurance that the insurance agent for the town and the attorney require, and I'm about to execute that. We got a very good price. I have a couple of more quotes on it, but I think this is actually an excellent price from what I'm told. And that covers George Caffiero and Cascade Mountain, Cascade Mountain wineries under a liquor liability insurance, in addition, and as well as general liability. This policy is for both. So I'm about to make that happen. Some other things I wanted to show you was that we have a poster that we want to put up near where people come in. That's be part of the Amenia Music Hall, and it asks people for donations in specific amounts for things like grand piano, front doors and facades, main stage spotlight, digital movie projector, wall and window curtains, stage lights, and it also offers a basic sponsorship for $50 where you get a t-shirt. And you've seen the poster, I'm sure. We've been assiduous about.
Yep.
We also, let's see, where did I put that? We want to put a sign by the road, and I think I brought it. Yeah. Let's see if it's here. And we want to use the like an easel tripod. No, I don't seem to have it. I'm sure I'll find it later. But I will show you that before anything happens with it, obviously. I also want to suggest a banner that, you know, a vinyl banner that goes up maybe just for the event that would look like this. And, you know, for if I can find a reason.
Is that okay?
I'd have to take a closer look at it.
Okay.
Well,
When you're ready, you can come on in.
yeah, I mean, that's a very badly done exhibit that I did
Yeah,
myself.
you would just need a temporary sign for me, but we should be able to do that.
Is that okay? Yeah, I mean, you know, it would be affixed with grommets and
Really?
the other things. And,
Yes.
gee, I thought I had a picture of this roadside sign, but I just don't seem to have it. But anyway, I'll present you with that as soon as I have an example. And I assume that once I have this, I should say, that once I have this liability squared away, we'd be ready to sign the contract, or there are other issues that we need to address?
No, I talked to Peter this afternoon. Once the attorney signs off, Byron signs off, we're all set. I think
Okay.
the board,
Yeah.
once the board sees it, we're all
Right.
set.
And as far as your signs, you just need to meet with John Fenton, our building
Yeah.
inspector, to get your sign
Okay,
okay.
do you have a card? Or I can reach you through the town, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
They're actually, we found plastic ones that are sandwich boards
Okay,
that you can replace the sign on it.
right.
And if you'd like, I'll just buy them from the town. I'll have them. You know, it's not for Peter Cascone Productions. The town would own
The
it.
only thing you have to really kind of stick to is, the banners shouldn't be more than 16 square feet dimensionally.
So I'm not
You
sure
guys
how.
can discuss that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
you
we're not
could,
getting that.
yeah.
I'll work that out. You know, I'll make
Okay.
it whatever size is appropriate for you.
Yeah, just set a time to meet with John, and we'll
Yeah,
get you all
that's-
squared away with your signs.
Yeah. You know, I thought maybe a week before the event, we could put that up, and when people show up.
We do have a sandwich board sign that's in the alcove here of the gym.
Okay.
So you're welcome to use it for this event right beforehand, and it's a 4-foot by 4-foot
Oh,
two-sided option, and so you just mount the core plastic banner over
put
the
it on
front.
it. Yeah,
And put it
okay.
out by the road on the sidewalk for temporary signage, right? That's
Yeah,
what
I
we
was
do.
thinking that the signs would go on both the exit and the entrance driveways out front.
Okay.
We were thinking about the corner there, but it seems kind of crowded. What do you think about that? You know, the corner where
We
the
do put
tractor.
one at the Four Brothers, yes.
Yeah, is that something that I arrange with the town or Four
You
Brothers?
can talk to
or-
me,
Okay,
and we'll work that out.
so maybe we can put something there too.
Yeah.
That's it. I'm very excited. Everybody seems to be very positive, and hopefully it'll work out, and we can do it in the future again. That's it.
Thank
Good.
you.
Okay.
Oh, absolutely.
Thank you.
Thanks, Peter. Highway, Stanley's not here. Water?
All right, month of February is kind of quiet. Usage was down to 112,000 average per day, 140 being the highest. We at that number was about 20,000 over of where we'd like to see things. And early March, we got called for a leak. So the leak will be in the next report, but just give you an update on it. Was, so the town's aware, it was a service line that fed one of the restaurants in town at the intersection of 44 and 22. It was a difficult location to work in, as you know, being a state road. Found that another line that was running next to the main that shouldn't be there. Not sure if that's an abandoned line or not. We didn't want to cause any more damage than what was there. We made the repair. Everybody's back in service. Tried to impact the town as little as possible. Without the loops in the town that we could put in, bringing Lavelle Road towards Lake Amenia or Dunn Road to Lake Amenia, by shutting the valves off under the stoplight, caused half the town to lose water for a few hours. On the second day of the repair, we had very little impact to shutting water down on the town. It was probably no more than, I would say, an hour of combined on and off time that there had no water usage. We received the sampling plan for 2013 from the Department of Health, and we're reviewing that now to see what we have to do for sampling for this year. We also have the annual water quality report that we're working on that should go out in not this billing but the next billing cycle after approvals from the county. We replaced one meter on Depot Hill, meter in remote. Repaired the injection point at Lavelle Road for the chlorine injection. That pipe was leaking. It was galvanized pipe. And pretty much standard maintenance, cleaning chlorinators and injectors. Any questions? And we have water billing coming up, water meter reading coming up at the end of this quarter. End of this
When
month.
exactly will you be doing the, reading the meters?
Usually we do it either the last day of the month of the quarter or the very first day of the new quarter. Right around
First
that
day
time.
works this year.
What was that?
Yeah, the 31st is Easter.
Right, it's on a Sunday, so we would do it
So
the
it'd be the
Monday, the
first.
first.
Okay, just so we know.
Mhm. Has there been any progress with the?
We interviewed someone
Okay.
during executive session.
Okay, good. Okay,
Thank you.
thank you very much.
Building department.
Okay. For the month of February, the Building Zoning Department issued 9 permits. We performed 4 fire inspections, and we also reviewed 2 municipal searches. We had a total monthly revenue of $2,662, with a year-to-date of $7,516. We performed 27 inspections, and we closed out 6 complaints. Let's see. Next week, I'll be meeting with the engineer who's representing the Moss Building. We should be going over in detail the scope of the work that is required to bring the building into compliance. I think we're still going on with that Main Street grant. What's the status with that?
So, as far as I know.
All right.
I talked to Mike today.
She's done nothing now.
Yeah, so I mean, she's hired the
Well, yes, she
engineer
has.
to,
She's in discussions with Millbrook Bank.
I talked to the Millbrook Bank today, they haven't heard from her in a month.
Well,
So,
I
at this
don't,
point, I don't know where
believe
we
that.
are with this thing, but,
We need to get some contracts signed, though,
sure,
right?
yeah, you're gonna lose this money, so
Yeah.
that's where we're at.
We need a deadline for
You haven't have a
the,
deadline here.
yeah.
I sent an email to Mike, and there's been no response, Leslie called you today,
I talked to him today.
so.
He's waiting
So
to hear
we're-
back from her, but she's in discussion with Millbrook Bank. That's what she told him.
I'll be meeting with
I
the
talked to Ron
engineer
Moss
Monday
this
afternoon. So I'll
Monday.
email the board and let you know what the status is.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right?
We need to get a hard deadline from this.
Yeah, because if that's not
Yeah,
gonna
right.
happen, then we need, the
Yeah.
money goes somewhere else,
Yeah.
to other people.
And it's not fair to the other people who
Right.
are then put in a difficult
Correct.
position trying to make it work.
And then, is the other one, is she moving forward with the
Yeah.
post office? Have you heard from her?
No, I have not.
Okay.
Okay.
Maybe I'll contact Mike Monday morning and
Mhm.
find out where we're at with that.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting to see what the next move is. I'm not sure. I haven't heard from Mike, and I haven't heard from the applicants, other than the engineer, which was today. So my meeting with him is Monday afternoon, and that's the only thing I've been doing so far on this project.
Okay.
All right. I wanted to know what the status was with the proposed change to the town code with the property maintenance. Have you heard anything from Ian on that? All right, because I wanted to try to get on top of that before this spring. Most likely.
Have you
we're-
talked to Ian?
I've sent him an email and haven't heard back from him. And I wasn't sure if he had any questions or revisions prior to
I
him
talked
presenting
about
it to the board. All right. And the other item was, I wasn't sure exactly where to pull, or what budget line to pull services from that we use for the third party to clean up these property maintenance issues. I haven't budgeted that in, and we had one incident where we hired a third party to clean up a certain parcel, and I have a bill sitting on my desk for like $500.
Well, it's gotta be, I thought I know they're working on putting the levy on the. bill.
Right, we can do that, but that
But we
won't
have
be
to
until
pay it first,
November.
We
right?
have to pay it. We
Yeah.
paid it, it's paid. We took it out of the general fund and paid it.
Just, okay. We'll
Right.
pull it out of the general fund and then,
Well, yeah, well, next year we're gonna have to budget, we'll have to
Right.
watch it this year and see where we are,
okay.
and then, we'll have to budget, as we do the budget, we'll
All
have to
right.
budget, put a line.
But
item.
once it's paid, then we put on the taxes.
Yeah, well, I contacted the county, and I have a contact in one of the departments up there that I need to pretty much submit everything by October, and they'll levy everything on by November.
Okay.
So we'll be able to recoup our money that way. All right,
Thank you.
that's it.
Town clerk's report.
For the town taxes,
I'd like to report that I have collected $3,551,679.96. That's equivalent to 85% of our taxes. We are in the month of March, and there's a 2% penalty at this time. I'd also like to remind all of our residents that we are in a no burn at this time, starting, March 15th, tomorrow morning, until May 15th. This is by order of the DEC under the Clean Air Act. I'd also like to remind everyone that the town clerk's office will be closed on March 18th for classes that Patty and I are attending in Albany. And I'm in receipt of a building use request, and it's by the Republican Party, and Maureen has requested that we waive the insurance. They're having their annual meeting here, and I know historically we've always just waived that, so I think I just need that in a form of a motion. She did pay the $25 required building use fee. So I would just ask that we go ahead and if someone...
I'll make a motion that we waive the insurance requirements for the use of this building for the Republicans' meeting.
Do the Democrats meet here too or no?
Don't think so. We haven't asked for it, but it's available if they do want to, I guess, for equal
I don't think we
access.
do both of them once, it'll be done.
Oh, I don't think they need it
Yeah,
here.
okay.
for any-
I'm in favor of it, it's fine.
Okay. Councilwoman Perotti?
Yes.
Councilwoman Doyle?
Yes.
Supervisor Flood?
Yes.
Thank you. And then on that same topic, in regards to waiver of insurance, I had a request from a mother in town, and she was looking to hold a birthday party. And maybe if we could set some guidelines so I would know clearer.
We have to make a across-the-board policy for who gets waived and who doesn't get waived. And Byron had some ideas for doing that. He suggested that the town-sponsored programs have that waived, but everybody else has to follow all of these expensive requirements. So that makes it very difficult for somebody who wants to use the gym who doesn't have insurance. I guess if it goes on their property insurance,
I was
but
just
they
gonna
have to
say,
do it
why-
for $1 million and they have to do it additional insured, I don't know. I mean, does the average person have that kind of general liability that they can extend to the town of Amenia and add it to their
I don't know
additional
if you get a
insurance?
rider on your homeowner's policy or not, I have no idea.
I've never
I
done
mean,
it.
to be specific, this parent was just looking for 3 hours to use the gym.
Right, but
you
you
know,
see, a
and
kid
to
could
have,
get hurt walking out of the building just like they could if they come to a for-profit activity here. So it's really comes down to the insurance company telling us, you know, to what level could you waive that, right?
Right, right.
And as I understood it with my conversation with him today, is that if it's a town-sponsored program, the cheerleaders have been sanctioned by the Recreation Commission, or the dance program is clearly the town program, then our liability covers the volunteers, it covers any problems that happen here. But if you bring in an outside group that doesn't have the sanction of, let's say, the Recreation Commission or the town board has absolutely offered this as a part of its program, then they have to provide the insurance for that activity or that event that they're putting on. So I don't know what happens to the private person who clearly isn't going to have, I don't believe, the kind of general liability that would cover the town.
Well, maybe
to that
that's a
level.
question for Byron.
I think $1 million policy though is pretty standard today.
Is it?
I think so.
Okay, I will
Well,
check into it.
just
I will
double
get
check
back to
into
you and find out what happens when somebody wants to have a birthday party here. And will their
Maybe-
homeowners insurance
Maybe there's a way that he
name
could come
them?
up with a simple rider that not a rider, that they would pay for.
Well, why don't we ask him
And
first?
ask him,
What the options are.
right.
And then we have to decide on a fee.
Okay.
okay, so this event she was requesting for March 23rd, so I'm gonna have to let her know that I don't think
Do
we'll...
you want to call Myron and ask him? I'm away tomorrow, but if
I
you,
mean, I can call him
'Cause
and
I
then
won't be
and
back
then
in
email
time for
out
this.
what he says to each of you.
she should check into that and see if this person's general homeowner's insurance could be sufficient to add us as an additional insured onto their homeowner's policy.
Okay, I'll do that in the morning, and I'll send out an email. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Dawn. Rec? Your enhancement?
Good evening. My name is Christine Ford. I'm here on behalf of the Amenia Recreation Commission. We had our meeting on Tuesday. I just want to update you on a few things. We had cheerleading Friends and Family Night was March 8th at 6 o'clock. It was a great night. All the girls did their little skit here, the routine, I should say. They had cake, and it was nice. It was really nice. The girls look good. They're getting ready. They'll start up again in August. But and she is going to try to put into a cheer gymnastics with an all-star coach. His name is Brandon Johnson. We need more information on that to get it in here so we can get it more approved. She has purchased another mat, but I know she wants 2 more, so we're gonna try to. I know she's doing fundraisers too, and it's nice to see the girls. They're adorable. If nobody's seen them, you really need to come and watch them. The warm-up clinics that are here, there are a few more left over on Wednesdays, March 20th and March 27th from 4:15 to 6. They'll be here in the gym. And then on Fridays, I have just changed the time because the kids are also practicing up at school. So on March 15th, the 22nd, and the 29th, they will meet here from 4:45 to 7 p.m. And I just want to thank John Lamb again, because he's really a big help down here with his kids. After I get these guys all done, and I know about more of my little leaguers, we're bringing them in and we're going to start working with their arms too. I've had anywhere from 7 to 14 boys. Yesterday, we had 14 boys here.
It's pretty impressive to watch them.
And the bus stops here down and lets them all off, so they all walk up here to come on. A little bit of talk about a little bit of vandalism in Amenia Park. Actually it happens in both parks, but Amenia's been a little bit more right now. We have some tables that are upside down, some on top of the dugouts, garbage all over, the same old stuff. People just are bored and they want something to do, I guess. So, and I know we're going to get together. Sean's going to be here this weekend and start working on it. I'm going to have my boys down there to help at least get that table off the dugout. Start cleaning up some garbage because I will be here, so I'll have them down there. He will be starting to work at the park to fix the posts. We're talking about somehow locking up the driveway there so we don't get a lot of stuff going back there. There was somebody who did some donuts on the softball field.
Recently?
Just recently, yeah. It's just little things, but they do the same thing down in the Wassaic Park too. It's just they're bored, I guess. They have nothing to do, so maybe they should get out and start playing ball with all the kids when they're coming up. Help volunteer, do something. Sean said that he couldn't find any more signs. We used to have a sign down there telling you what the rules and stuff were down in that park. It's missing, so we gave him the approval to get another one and get it down there. The special one that we really want is dawn to dusk, and that goes for both parks. Another little tidbit too we're going to put out there: as soon as all the kids are on the fields, I am asking all the residents here, both here and down in Wassaic, we don't want any of your dogs on the fields while the kids are practicing or playing games. Last year, I guess there was problems when they were down there, and there could have been dog fights. I know the dogs are allowed on their leashes, but they don't have to be down there when we have all the kids and a lot of people around. I'm asking this year not to have them there when all the kids are doing their thing. It just makes it a less problem. If they are going to walk their dogs, do it when nobody's down there. There's times they can go down there, like now, and actually in the morning when all the kids are in school and before they go down there practicing. Because as soon as it gets nice out, I know Weewotuck will be down there, give or take around 2:30 to start practicing down there on the fields. Make sure they have their leashes and they pick up their poop, because nobody else should have to pick up their poop or step in it. The question I have for you is, if there's an emergency down there and Sean needs to get supplies to fix something, what is he able to do? Because if he can't run over and grab something from Pages without a PO number, that's just starting, I want to make sure he can do that. If there's a problem that arises when we're playing ball, say we need something for the sink or, the toilet or something, I want him to be able to run over there and grab something. So is there a way that he can get a couple of PO numbers?
We worked it out, and last year also, we did the same thing with him. It worked out.
Okay, because I'm gonna, that needs to be
But
done.
as far as the dogs at the park, that's something we'll have to check out, because that's a state park. So we'll have to see what the state of New York requires, and what the rules and regulations are. So we'll see. That comes under the jurisdiction of the state of New York. So you may not be able to restrict them, but I will find that out. As far as the dog stuff, we had asked the town, the recreation
Right,
department
and we
to do the
put
bag
that,
things.
we put that in there again, and it was denied again. It was denied. So, I can't do that.
People are responsible for bringing
So-
whatever they need to bring to clean up after
Yep.
their dog.
Chip Watt did say he was going to write a letter to the sheriffs, I'm not sure about the troopers too maybe, and just see if they could do some drive-bys too, a little bit more.
They're in there the other
So
night.
just to kind of check out for us. I am going to put a cleanup out there. I mean, like I said, this Saturday, 3/16. If anybody's not doing anything, they want to go down there and help Sean and my boys down there, help them pick up some stuff, maybe move the tables out of the way. Please go down and help them.
What time will you be down there?
Is this a public cleanup, or just a
This is just fast
free.
right now. It's a
Okay.
last minute kind of thing. But the one I'm going to put out there, the town park cleanup, and I'll be around for it, will be April 6th. But hopefully by then we'll have most of it done, because I want Sean to get some.
You still have to put out the, more of the, rubber stuff for the, is that done?
The mulch.
The mulch.
The mulch, yeah, we have to do the mulch, and I don't want to do all that myself anymore. We're not done with Boss Egg either, but that's okay. So like I said, I'm going to do April 6th from between 9 and 9:30, start down there. If everybody has shovels, rakes, whatever, let's get down there and start working. I asked Sean to buy some paint so I can start painting the bathrooms too, to get the bathrooms up to look a little nicer, I think.
And that, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
That lady's gonna do the cooking again, right?
Yes. Fran Watley, she'll be there again.
Yep, she'll be doing that, yep.
Good.
And she's also been told the hours Weebatuck will be there, so.
Yep,
She's come in and she's completed her building use form.
Okay, good.
And she paid the $400 deposit.
Good.
yep, I talked to her actually today. The adult softball league, they will get another pallet of lime, and when it starts getting nice out, they're going to take care of the softball field, kind of get that all ready to start playing on, which will be nice too. Our Easter egg hunt is actually March 30th at 10 a.m. We have 4 Junior National Honor Society students from Weebatuck High School that will be here to help volunteer, and we have 3 Boy Scouts from Troop 29 in Amenia to also help with this festivities. I need to know if I can have the constables to help keep our lower lot empty until the families come around 10 o'clock, if that's okay, and as soon as they start
Same
coming
day
in.
as the auction.
Yeah, if that, just like last year, if they can just keep it emptied for a while, so all the, the parents and their kids can come in, and then eventually, it's just
Oh,
gonna,
that's here.
yeah, yeah.
So can we use this, the constables
Yeah,
are
we did
already
last year,
on,
They're
right?
here, you're right.
They're
I
already.
think
They're
hire-
down there.
already on. They hire them anyway, right?
Yeah, because they're down
They
there.
hire them.
They hire them
They
down
hire
there.
us. Yeah, well, yeah.
But, so
We'll charge him.
next month, I'll do the,
It's my brother. We'll
Special.
charge him. He'll pay for it.
next month, we can do the resolution for the special duties,
Correct.
because you got all of the events going, so I'll do it for next.
My movie night ended with a great success. I just want to thank, a big thanks actually to Jim Devine. He did the surround sound. I had 2 Boy Scouts there this time around, Tyler and Nick Jasmine. They have to get volunteer hours to get a patch. And then I had a bunch of other kids that helped me out. Thomas Harrison and William Ford. I believe it's Logan Luther, Zach and Carly Klinger, Connor and Jesse James. And then after they all help me do the popcorn, they do help clean up though, they will help, but they come in down here and they have more fun playing in the gym than anything. And they just, boys being boys, they're having so much fun. Oh, and the little girl too. Baseball signups will be this Saturday and next Saturday from 9 to 12 here at the town hall. Another thing I wanted to talk about is I was thinking about doing a great opening day for our baseball, which is April 27th. I talked with Sam Bailey about the use of his tractor and 2 hay wagons to have a little parade through town. We would have, the families, if they want to have them there at the Amenia Firehouse. I have to talk to the Amenia firemen to see, if they'll help us too. I haven't been able to get it through to them, but to have a little parade from Amenia Firehouse to the ball field and have him go around the back of the ball field and kind of leave his tractor and stuff back there. I talked to Byron to see about insurance on that, what I have to do and what we have to do on that one. So he's still looking in that for me. At the same time, I figured that would go on around 8:30. I have Memory Makers is the new picture people that are going to take pictures. They're going to come out at 9:30 and take a photo of all of us looking towards the field, and by then the firemen will have their new scoreboard up, so it should look nice. I invited the Monarchs, the Connie Mack team, our Babe Ruth team, our Little League, our girls softball, and I do want to invite the Amenia firemen. Like I said, I haven't been able to get a hold of them quite yet. I thought the town constables, the Recreation Commission, and the town officials should also be there. It should be a nice time to start
That's
out.
the 27th?
That's
Yes.
the 27th. I have Jim Devine, who's going to do some music. I'm right now looking into a young lady from Weebatuck to see if she'll come and sing the national anthem. And I'm going to try to look, or if anybody is watching this and they own a business, I want to know if you would donate hot dogs and buns for this occasion. Fran said she would cook them for me. And then I need to get banners and flags to decorate the park. Anyone who likes to decorate or wants to, buy me some flags to put up, I would really appreciate it. It's a town thing. Let's make baseball, let everybody see that baseball's here. Our kids love this stuff, and we should all get together for this. And my last thing I want to talk about, though, before I get on to that, I just want to thank Charlene Pollinger for all she does for the Recreation Commission, and I want to wish her well. She left her seat. And then to Tom Warner for all the years on the Recreation Commission and the donations he's helped get for us. I'm welcoming back Kathleen Howard. She does a great job with summer camp, and all the kids really love her. And Rick Lonju, I want to welcome into our Recreation Commission. He starts April 1st. But the next thing we need to talk about actually is background checks. Volunteers 18 years and older have to get checked out. There was a couple things that I know Mary gave me one, particular from a company that you have. But then I got talking to a gentleman who is in the Recreation Commission down there in Dover, and he told me that they do this New York Child Safety Law, Chapter 260. And I'm not quite sure how we should go about this. I don't feel that I should be the one that has to do this. I don't mind getting the volunteers' names and stuff, but I don't think I'm the one that should have to make sure they get checked out for this. I think somebody on the board should do that.
I
Well, that's a
suggested
town
that the
function.
town's staff, somebody should be assigned this job since it has to be on file here. We have to be responsible for it when they come. It shouldn't be necessarily a volunteer. It should be documented and on file here at the town hall. Now Kathleen,
Do you have a list of how many people are involved?
I won't have the exact list until after we do our sign-ups too, because that's where I get a lot of my volunteers. I need them then.
All right, we can work on
I
it.
could give you a few, but I don't have all of them.
So, from my understanding, it's every coach, every parent that is involved with these kids?
I'm doing every coach, everybody that, I know of.
Umpires, they're already done, right?
The umps are actually
They're
for,
private.
well, Little League's different, but they're all volunteers, and they're actually going to be the kids from the school that comes down and helps with my farm league. And they're all 16 and 17-year-olds, so they're fine.
Okay.
And they're only going to be there to ump. It's not like,
Okay, fine.
so you would provide us with a list
I will
of all
get
the
you the
people.
list.
And Kathleen
numbers.
Howard would give us the list of all of
Yep.
her people who are working with the kids there. So I think we just assign it to somebody here, staff-wise, to make sure that they're followed up.
Yeah, I just think it's more responsibility. I don't want that
Yeah, it's a big
responsibility.
responsibility.
No, it's the town's
It should
responsibility.
be all on file here, not in somebody's personal files.
So, and that's all I have. Just, come and sign your kids up for baseball, softball, Little League.
I just have one thing.
Sure.
I know Sam, they got a donation to put up another scoreboard.
I know, I'm looking into that. I haven't,
I talked to him the other day about that, and then also the front entrance is gonna be, he's gonna redo the front entrance. I know him and Darlene have been working on it. I think they've met once or twice, but hopefully they get that, once this weather breaks, they can get that stuff done.
yeah.
And get
I
that
tried to
done.
get a hold of Stanley Whitehead, actually, just thinking about that real fast, because they said there's some really big ruts going in when you're going around the back into
Yeah.
the pavilion to see if he
He
could
would-
do something for me,
Right.
but I haven't been able to get a hold of him today.
But hopefully someday we'll get us, I've talked to the Transportation Council about fixing the sidewalk, putting a sidewalk on 343 from Broadway to the park.
Right.
Or even blacktopping some of it to see, but, there's no money, so we'll see what we can do.
The
to get-
standards for that is that you need a curb, because I
Correct.
looked into a grant for that before, and
Right.
they will
Yeah, we
not
did
just
that
patch it
before.
up. They need to have it
Right.
meet the standards
Right.
of today's.
Well, it's ridiculous.
It is.
And I also met with the Pauling Corporation
Oh, did you?
about the light for the Wasaig Park. Actually, all those poles are ours.
Oh,
We pay the electric, so I've just got to call the electric company and get it. They said, no, whatever we need, they'll help.
Those are our light poles?
Yeah, we pay
Oh.
the electric.
Oh, it's part of a lighting district then.
No, the highway department pays, so we pay it.
wow.
So that will move, see if we can put another pole across the river and maybe another pole down into the park so we can get some lights down in there.
That would be,
Maybe another one to
at least
cover
one
that.
more would be nice over there so you can kind of see.
Right, and somehow give some lights down that pathway. I don't know how we're gonna do that, but that's
I don't know, yeah.
gotta be a tough one to get so people can have it at night, at least to some point. I know even the kids are out here playing basketball the other night till 11 o'clock.
Hmm.
This is lit.
Does
here.
that light work?
Yeah,
That light
they're
works?
working. So,
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Christine. You're doing a great job.
Enhancement. But we'll need we'll need that list soon. When you're, okay.
Hi, Kevin Cassone, Amenia Enhancement Committee. So we have all our orders in. So we're all prepared for, all the orders are in for planting day. What's different this year is we bought almost all perennials. We're going to get off this little chipmunk wheel where we constantly keep buying annuals that go up and up because they're linked to the cost of oil. We used to have 80 barrels around town. We're now down to 38 between the two hamlets, Amenia and Wasaig. We're still spending every penny of the budget, with barely enough to buy the Christmas trees for the holiday lights. But this year we're going to have a few flats of annuals, but we're just going to make this shift of putting perennials in. So once we finish an area, it's done. We'll do the same thing next year. After a few years, we'll finally be ahead of the curve rather than on a descending path. So that's going all fine. We don't have any enhancement events till late April. There's one thing I didn't get here for public comment, so it's kind of linked. The Amenia Garden Club is going to be having a lecture this Saturday. It's free. We have a recommended donation if you want to make it, but you don't have to. Refreshments. It's all about vegetable gardening and new and different stuff, not the same old thing.
At 2 o'clock?
At 2 o'clock, right. Lasts about an hour. Question and answer period afterwards. So please, come one, come all. If you have the money, give it. If you don't, you can come and attend anyway. And you can find out what it's going to be pretty eclectic. It's going to be how to hide that. I actually have a collection of photographs of ugly vegetable gardens. People treat it like their basement. They'll have a beautifully landscaped property, and then out in the middle of the lawn is the square with a rectangle with the tree branch fences and the rusted chicken wire, and for some reason they think it's okay. So we have solutions for that, and you can find out what a Volkswagen Beetle, Volkswagen Bus, Shakespeare's Theater, and your garden all have in common. So just to be curious to find out what that is. Oh, and Christine, for less than the cost of one bench, they have webcams, the hunters and the hunting catalogs. They have waterproof, weatherproof, night vision cameras, motion sensors. I mean, like under $150. You have the poles there, you can mount it up high, and then put a font sign letting them know your smile, you're on candid camera if you do any damage here, and maybe that'll stop it. Okay, thank you.
Other than, was there no, any damage just to the park, or just they put the tables on? I thought we picked up the garbage. I didn't have, didn't, huh? Or is there more, they brought stuff in?
Well, this is stuff they bring in with them.
All right. Okay, discussions. As most of you know, CJ Haas has resigned. It was effective last week, I believe, last week, 2 weeks ago. It's a very unfortunate thing, but I feel very bad that we have to lose him.
Do we need to accept that, or is that,
It was done.
it is what it is?
It
Okay.
went to
He's
the
done
state
what he
and the
needs to
county,
do. Okay.
Yeah. I have spoken to both party leaders, and I know that they are working to get us applicants for the empty seat, which will be appointed until December 31st of this year. Then there will be an election in November to fill his seat, to fill his term. So I know there are 4 or 5 people at this point, I know that are interested in the seat. So we'll see where we are. So next week, hopefully next week, we'll have some names and stuff of what we can do.
Can we set a deadline and have a formal, request for people who are interested in the community to step forward and submit their names? Because we may not know who out there might be interested. And it's a great opportunity for people to serve their community. And it's only this, we're going to appoint somebody only through December 31st. And in May, you'd have to decide if you wanted to run for it again. So it's a great way to see if you might be interested in doing this kind of work. And there is a pay associated with it. We get almost $6,000 a year.
Too much.
So it seems like not very much money when you're doing the job, but sometimes it is helpful.
Do you want to do it by, well, next week is, when's the next meeting, 28th? Right?
I'd like to have, if we could say a deadline of having your letter of interest to
By
the
April 1st?
town clerk. Is the town clerk the appropriate?
Yeah, it's got to go to the town clerk.
Letter of interest by April 1st.
By April 1? That's awfully around the corner.
Or the 15th of April?
15th of April sounds good,
Is that okay with you?
Yes.
so that we would have them in time to review for the 18th.
Can you send out a press release for that?
Your meetings
our
are
meeting's
April
on the
11th and the 25th.
I was going to submit something for the hometowner, and I can submit something also to the local.
When is our meeting, April
Millerton
when?
News.
April 11th and 25th.
So maybe
So
we
why don't we
should
have
say
to
the
do, like-
22nd, or the,
No, let's do it before that. Is that too early?
well, the
To hit our
hometowner comes
meeting.
out the 1st of April, probably. So you could do it by the 10th, I guess, and then,
That's pretty tight, dog.
yeah.
Let's leave it the 15th.
Go to April 15th instead.
Right.
Then we could interview people if we needed to. Okay, that's great. I really do encourage people to apply if they have any interest at all.
I've talked to a lot of people that have,
Thinking about it?
yep.
That's good.
Am I putting an actual ad in, or is this just like a letter of interest?
I'm writing a press release, so
A
I
press
think they'll
release?
put
Okay.
something in the paper and encourage people to apply.
If you can send that to me, we can also get it on the website as well, and
Yeah.
the television.
Yep, I'll do that tomorrow morning and
Okay.
send it to you.
Okay.
We have Ridgecrest, I just wanted, there's a public hearing for the Ridgecrest gravel mine on the 28th here,
When does that start?
The 28th
28th.
at 7.
7 o'clock. Okay.
Okay.
In the transfer station, there's an old backhoe that's, it's an old town backhoe, so I guess at some point we have to get rid of the thing.
Does it work?
I think it runs.
Well, Rick, why don't we check with Sean to see if he can use it for the fields?
It came from the highway department. I
Right.
wonder if
I
they,
think it's in rough
do they
shape.
not want, oh, it's in awful shape.
Yeah, it's
It is
terrible.
on its total
Yeah.
last legs.
No, they don't want it. That's why they gave it to the transfer station, but I think we ought to check with Sean Howard
Well,
and
they have the
Recreation
tractor,
to see if they can use it there.
Don't you need a license to operate one of
No.
those? You don't.
But I don't know if it's worth fixing.
No, it's not worth fixing. That's why Stan gave it to him.
Well, I was gonna say, if you
I mean,
want
he's
to get
done
rid of it,
with-
we'll put it in the auction, but I can't vote on that tonight, so,
Oh,
I'm not gonna vote on that.
and we can't.
You
That
can't
would be a
vote
great
to-
place to get rid of it.
Where is it now?
It's at
It's
the
still at the
transfer
transfer
station, probably. So we don't have a quorum to do that if you recuse yourself?
Right.
Or is that,
I don't think it's a conflict, but I don't know if that's, I just wanna bring that
yeah,
to, I just don't get rid of it.
that's too bad.
Will Darlene be here the 28th?
What's that?
Will Darlene be back for the 28th meeting?
Yeah.
Well, we can,
That's 2 days before the auction.
Sure.
Just postpone, like carry this over.
Okay.
One other thing we have, I've been talking with the town of Dover about this dog control thing, what they have Brett Johnson, one of our constables, does theirs for $17 an hour. He would do it the same here. We would use Dover's kennels. One guy would do both towns. The town supervisor, town of Dover's fine with it, everything's fine with it, it's sort of shared surfaces. He's also, I talked to Brett yesterday and today, they had an issue with, I think, 2 dogs on Log Hollow Road. One got pretty well chewed up by another dog, so it was in the emergency room somewhere in Hyde Park. So he has the dog at home, then he's gonna seize another dog, but he needs to have the board's approval to do this. If we approve him tonight as a dog control officer, that he can come in and get sworn in, so that then he can start seizing these dogs. So I'd like to make a motion that we hire Brett Johnson, a salary of $17 an hour as a dog control officer for the town of Amenia, which will shared services with the town of Dover, so we can use their kennels.
But how does this dovetail with our existing,
We would do away with them.
so we only put him on a
90-day thing.
90-day?
Yeah.
So the kennels, the dogs would be held at the Dover's kennel?
Correct.
And they have proper kennel
Yep,
facilities?
yep.
We don't currently have any
We do.
dog?
so how would people reach him?
He has a cell phone. He has a phone.
And how long has he been dog control officer for them?
A long time. A long time.
And he lives in the town of Amenia or in the
He
town?
lives in the town of Poquag.
So who would pay his mileage?
No mileage, he gets straight hours.
So he doesn't
No.
get
It's on
paid
his
for
own-
mileage, it's a straight hourly?
Right, straight hourly pay.
And that pay would be split between the towns? How would that work?
No,
we
when he
pay
works
him.
for us,
We
we pay
bill- He
him.
would bill him,
When he
right.
works for them,
They pay
they pay him. It could be a better deal in that I'm not comfortable, well, we don't have a great we don't have a facility for boarding.
The boarding, you could, you know, I've had to talk to Stanley about this, you know, you could put a kennel at the town garage.
I
but
don't
you'd
think the
have a fair-
town highway needs to.
I don't think
Go
they
into
need
the
that
dog.
down there.
No, no,
Yeah.
I'm not saying do it,
Business.
but they wouldn't do it, he would do it. Just have a-
There at our town garage facility?
Right, but,
That doesn't sound like a very good idea to me.
well, that's what the town of Dover has theirs, you know. I don't know where you want to put them.
Yeah, but they need staff, they need somebody.
No, this guy does it. That was just if we need a place to hold the dog. Last year, we picked up 1 dog.
No, I know, it
So
doesn't
this
come up
year-
very
right.
often, but
This
we
year
have had strays
This year, we've already
that
picked
have
up
been.
3. We had one the other day in the library. At 12 o'clock, 12:30, they called here. By the time, I don't know what happened to the dog, by the time he got up here, the place was locked and the dog was gone. Unless they locked it in the library, I have no idea what happened to the dog. So, They called me at 12:30, 12:15, I think, and I got a hold
So
of
how would this work? If the Amenia had an issue with a dog, he would take care of it and bring the dog to Dover's kennels?
Sure.
And would we have to
We
Pay-
already pay for, we already buy the food, we already pay, that's already done. Our
We've
budget
got
wouldn't
a
change.
budget for that.
The only thing we would pay is his hourly fee. We pay $260-some a month now for a dog catcher.
So, but doesn't Dover charge us beyond the food and the,
We have a budget line for, well, I think we pay up to $250 for medical services.
and who's, so are we paying for the dog that got chewed up on Bog Hollow Road?
Well, that's an issue. We're gonna pay part of it. We have to pay, I understand when the dog is seized, they have to have a medical care.
Mhm.
So that we pay. And then the owner, if the owner can pay it, that's fine, but normally these dogs are not. And then, what he does is take them to the SPCA, and they work to find homes for them.
Mm.
So they're not, none of them are put down, unless they have to be euthanized for medical, reasons.
Okay.
That's it. It's a no-kill
Mhm.
situation that we have here.
Has anybody seen the Dover's kennels?
Yeah.
Just out of curiosity.
Yeah.
So they're
Yeah.
fine.
Oh, yeah. Well, they come under, they control the health department, so on and so forth, so it's not.
Yeah, they have to meet quality
meet
standards
qualifications.
for ag and markets.
Ag markets and the health department. So that's,
Well, I think it's a very good resolution. I don't see that it would cost us anything more, because if you're not paying mileage, then he's responding specifically only to requests. He's not gonna come out and drive around.
no.
You're gonna have to call to get him to come out. The other fellow comes out and he drives.
I think Brett has had 4 calls in the past 4 or 5 days from Amenia already.
Okay.
So some people are calling him because the other guy's not answering the phone calls. So there are issues here we have to deal with. It's not just dogs. You know, we had a lady with 30 goats in Wasay. Right, it was 30 goats?
Oh, we have goats in Muskie,
With goats
yeah.
all over the place.
Yeah.
That were running around and other issues.
So how do we pay him now, though? It's an hourly. John Tubowitz, we pay him hourly, right?
No,
When
he
he's
gets a
on call?
salary.
He gets a
He
salary?
gets his salary
He gets a
plus
monthly
mileage.
salary.
That's
And
right.
And mileage.
Right. So hopefully we are not going to exceed that in,
No, we shouldn't.
all right, I would make a motion then to hire Brett Johnson.
You're seconding Supervisor Flood's
Oh,
motion.
you've already made that motion. I'll second it.
Excuse me, I have a question, just.
Well, there's
other
no public
people
comment,
have a
please.
question.
Yep.
The phone number for the dog control
We'll
officer?
give it to you.
Okay, and then, how many kennels do they have down there?
There's no public comment at this point.
Well, how
Thank
many,
you.
I want to know, how many
I
kennels
think
do
there's
they have?
4.
Okay, so my other question would then be, if they had capacity at their kennel, what's an alternate arrangement?
SPCA.
Okay, thank you.
We had a motion on the table. If we can. Councilwoman Brody?
Yes.
Councilwoman Doyle?
Yes.
Supervisor Flood?
Yes. We did have a dog picked up by the SPCA. In order to get your dog back, it has to be, I believe, all shots have to be brought up to speed, up to date. The fees have to be paid. I think it cost the lady $400 to get the dog back. But and whatever it costs them on a daily basis to keep the dog.
So I'll call Mr. Johnson the first thing in the morning, because
Yep.
he needs to be sworn in, because this
Correct.
matter, there's
And then
additional.
you can post his number,
I can post his number, and,
and we'll get that done.
because he has to issue appearance tickets. I know that most
Correct.
recently in this past year, we've ordered appearance tickets. So if someone wants to notify Mr. Tubowitz, because he has the supply of everything that Mr. Johnson's going to need for tomorrow.
Well, I'm sure the supervisor's office will take care of that.
Okay.
What am I doing?
No,
Get the
have Mary
supplies.
notify Mr. Tubowitz to get
Sure.
the supplies, because we used to have a supply line and there's items that the town would be in possession of.
Of
If he had any supplies or any of the kennels and such that he had up there, and I know he has all the appearance tickets
Okay.
and paperwork that we
Right.
ordered.
The planning board sent a, has interviewed a couple attorneys. We have received a letter, we received an email to that they've recommended that we hire,
David Everett.
David Everett, who is a partner in the Whitman, Osterman, and Hanna from One Commerce Plaza from Albany, New York. David has done some work with us on the mining permit in the South
Kent
Indian Road,
Hollow.
Kent Hollow.
Yeah.
He's a very good attorney, there's no question. It's an 80-plus attorney at a law firm in Albany. So it's a big firm, that's who they want. I have issues with it, but I'll,
I
Well,
think-
they need an attorney that knows land use,
correct. But
and we have a lot of things coming up that
the
they're
issue I
gonna
have
need
is we're
somebody.
hiring a high-priced attorney that, it's not just a price, it's that I just hope that it doesn't get bogged down with legalese, and there's been some complaints from the public in front of the planning board that it's taking too long, too expensive to get things done. That's a concern I have. So I guess we'll have to watch it, if they wanna hire him, we'll hire him, but, he is the same, I think he got the price down. We do pay some, travel time from Chatham to here, which
What's
we,
the price hourly rate now?
uh, 135 to 185 for associates, 195 to 225 an hour for partners. We pay, currently, I think it's $160 an hour we pay, right? For Ian. And he's also, I guess, he's gonna do the zoning board of appeals also. So how do you feel?
I believe that we're getting a really good work out of Nina Peak, who is very professional, a professional planner, vice president of her company, and she's doing it for a nominal fee of $2,500. I think we're getting excellent advice and service given to the town on a silver platter. George Finn was a lawyer. He served as chairman for years for $2,500 a year. It's volunteer, practically professional service given to the town of Amenia taxpayers. I think that if Nina feels we need good assistance, she will hire and stay within our budget. I feel completely confident. And Leo Blackman is an architect who specializes in historic preservation, has given and given and given to the town of Amenia, and I think, again, he's giving his time for free to the town of Amenia, and I think that I'd be very happy to make a motion that we hire David Everett, who they recommend for both the ZBA and the planning board.
I second.
Councilwoman Prody,
Yes.
Councilwoman Doyle,
Yes.
Supervisor Flood.
Yes. What's the date today? 13th? 14th?
14.
Supervisor's report. I attended the 40th Senate District's Veterans Hall of Fame, which was postponed because of a snowstorm. Senator Greg Ball, who's no longer our senator, did honor the local veterans in his old district and his new district. Our veteran was Staff Sergeant Stephen Value from Millerton. He was recommended by the local posts. I met him there. You know, what they do is incredible. What the lives of these people have done is incredible. What they've done for the in the military, for the service of this country. Some of these people, I think there was 30 of them, it's pretty impressive what they've done with their lives and what they've done in the service. So it's a great thing what he's done for the veterans. And that the veterans the wall will travel to different towns as it goes through this. So it's a
Is
great,
it an actual wall? I guess it was,
Yeah,
I
it's
was
a
imagining it was
folding wall.
virtual. Okay.
that's what he has. And
Okay.
everybody has a plaque on the wall.
Okay.
So actually, what he announced this year was that they're going to, these World War II veterans that are getting older, they're going to take them to Normandy.
Wow.
They're going to start raising money to get as many as his district to go before they leave this earth, because they're dwindling. This guy, that's Mr. Value, does, he serves as a fire commissioner of Northeast Fire District. Here, I'll read this. Stephen Value is a veteran of Foreign Post, Wars Post 544 in the town of Amenia's honoree for the 40th District Veterans Hall of Fame. Stephen Value was born in Sharon, Connecticut on March 7th, 1976. Excuse me. He served in the United States Army for 5 years and 7 months, achieving the rank of Staff Sergeant. During his service, Stephen Value earned the Purple Heart, the Bronze Star, the Army Commendation Medal, the NCO Leadership Medal, the Global War on Terror Medal, the Afghanistan Campaign Medal with Oak Leaf Cluster, the Iraq Campaign Medal with Oak Leaf Cluster, the Army Service Medal, the National Defense Medal, the Senior Explosive Ordnance Disposal Badge, the Good Conduct Medal, and several combat action badges. Stephen Value serves as a fire commissioner of the Northeast Fire District and also a Wounded Warrior peer mentor. He is also co-founded Scuba Warrior, a scholarship program for wounded warriors and their families, and has earned the American Legion Medal of Valor, the Safari Club International 2012 Wounded Warrior Hunt Award, and the 2010 New York State Bow Hunter Camel to Camel Wounded Warrior Hunt for his volunteer and civic commitments to the community. Very, very impressive man, what he's done. You know, he was wounded, he is in a wheelchair, so it's incredible what he's done and what a lot of other people, men and women, did for the service of this country. That's all I've got for this, for the is this got to be done tonight, this Chris Klinger?
The constables just wanted me to let you know that they were selected by Homeland Security and approved to take a class on March 26th and 27th. It's upstate, it's 3 hours away. If you want to read that, or can I see yours?
You want the police?
Go ahead.
So the town board members and police constables have been accepted by Homeland Security to participate in a 2-day initial response to active shooter course, PER 275, which will be held at the State Preparedness Training Center in Orskinen, New York,
It's 3 hours away.
on March 26th and 27th. The Department of State will be providing housing classes at no cost due to our quick response. All of my officers are now registered with SLMS, Statewide Learning Management System, FEMA, in the Department of Homeland Security Emergency Services for training. Any questions, feel free to contact me, Chris Klingner, Head Police Constable, Town of Amenia.
I know they tried to get in the January class, but they fill up really quick. So they're taking on one of the, how to respond to active shooters, but he's putting in for all of them. And they pay for their hotel, and they, you know, they go up there and.
Good.
So, I think he wanted to make everyone aware, so that way they'll put in for their hours, but there's no fees for them. So they'll try to get as many free trainings as possible.
Town board comments?
I just wanted to announce the Amenia Firemen are having their pancake breakfast on Sunday from 7:30 to 11. And on Saturday, the VFW is having a corned beef dinner and dance, and the servings start at 6 p.m. I also would like to publicly thank C.J. Haas for his years of service on the town. He was an exemplary and very knowledgeable town board member. He looked into the detail of a lot of the cost of things and did a lot of research and did his homework, and it was a pleasure to work with him on the board. He was especially supportive of recreation and was my fellow liaison to the Recreation Commission meetings, and I wish him well in whatever he decides to do in the future.
You know, he did move to Pittsfield. He is a senior planner for the city of Pittsfield.
That's very good. We're
So,
lucky to have him.
We're lucky
for
to have
sure.
him. It's too bad he left.
He
It's
and
just-
his wife.
and his wife.
Wonderful.
We have to deal, I forgot these two applicants.
Okay.
I'd like to make a motion that we hire Karen McLaughlin to handle the water billing.
At what hourly rate?
It's $38.50 a year. $38.11.74 a year. So what's she work? How many hours does she work? That's a quarter. That's a quarter.
I mean, Jane would be here sometimes a full day to, get up, so 8, 10.
Let's just do
Think we'll be
$38.11 a salary, right, at this
You want to
point?
give her a salary, or you want to give her an hourly rate?
I don't know how they figure the hourly rate. So by the quarter? Must be.
If you did 18, it's probably in the...
Well, let me, that's not, what I'd like to do is get her hired and I'll give you the
We
rate.
do need to hire her.
Right.
I guess we hire her for
Subject-
Jane's
right.
to at Jane's current salary. How
Right.
about that?
Okay.
And we'll determine the hourly rate
The
at a
hourly
later.
rate.
Can we
Want
do
a
that?
roll call, please?
Councilwoman Perotti? I need a second on that motion.
Oh, I'll second that motion.
You made that motion.
I'll
Okay.
second it. So we're hiring her at Jane's salary.
Councilwoman Perotti?
Yes.
Councilwoman Doyle?
Yes.
Supervisor Flood?
Yes. Also, we have another candidate for, reconciliation of the town books, Lisa Luce from Pleasant Valley. I'd like to make a motion that we also hire her at a salary of, I think she said $15 an hour.
16.
She would like $16.
$16 an hour.
And I think that's appropriate given
The,
the reality of the nature of the job.
we need a second.
I'll second that.
Councilwoman Perotti?
Yes.
Councilwoman Doyle?
Yes.
Supervisor Flood?
Yes. Do you have anything to say?
Oh, yeah. Okay, so are we having another ambulance district meeting? I don't think we rescheduled,
It was
right?
canceled.
Right, so we're waiting to hear for that?
Right. I talked to Ian about that today. The Wassaic commissioner canceled it. He said he would get back to us when they were going to set up when they wanted to set up another meeting. I have not heard back from them.
Okay. And I was just going to announce the Sowing the Seeds of Love benefit concert is 7 p.m. at the Lantern Inn in Wassaic on, what day is that? That'll be Saturday night, April 6th, It's $15. It has, they'll have bands and dancing. It was a lot of fun last year. Apparently I missed it, and it was the best party ever. So I did drive through town and saw all the amazing cars. People had a grand time, so I
That's
wanted
fun.
to get it on my
And
calendar
the food is
now.
incredible.
And the food is incredible, so
It's all-
please go to that if you can.
It's a great organization.
And they're raising money for the community garden, is that right?
Correct. Yep.
Which serves food, provides food for families
I think
who
25
could use it.
families plant and take care of the gardens, and it provides enough food for them for the year. And then I think that what they do is the leftover food is they prepare for this party. It all comes
Oh.
from that.
It's amazing.
It's unbelievable what the food's incredible what they do. It was a good party. It was fun.
So
Support
Gridley,
Wassaic.
and as you go to the Lantern Inn, you'll pass Gridley Chapel, no doubt, on Furnace Bank Road. And we are, a small committee of us are working hard to find funds to repair the roof. It's an ongoing restoration of this little Victorian Gothic chapel that is right smack in the center of historic Wassaic. So it's not just a church organized committee. It's other people in the community who understand the importance of that little architectural gem, GEM, and we're looking for help and ideas. And if you have any great ideas for helping to raise what we need, it sounds like, is $15,000 to repair the ridge cap of the beautiful slate roof that goes back to 1875. And it's a theme. You can look across the street, or across the lawn here, and see the Presbyterian Church has the same distinctive slate roof pattern. And you see it also on the Luther Barn and on the Gridley Chapel. I'm sure that there's a story that one guy probably came who specialized in these slate
In this
roofs.
building.
But they're beautiful. This building has the slates also that match?
Yeah.
Not match, but this was done in the
Similar?
20s, so this is all slate.
So different. Oh, okay. Well, so it's an important architectural feature, and the roof is very important, not only for its architectural looks, but also for the structural integrity of the building. So it's an important job that we want. We're committed to finding $15,000 one way or another as soon as possible. There's a pruning workshop on Saturday, the 23rd, that Kevin and I are going to try and squeeze into. It's limited to 20 people, but it teaches you how to prune street trees. So we're going to come back with that knowledge and hopefully handle some of the issues that are on Mechanic Street and
Do you want
around
to bid that
town.
out? 'Cause those-
I would go to that workshop and see what we can learn to do ourselves on the small trees.
Then we give our own and get volunteers to prune our trees for us, which is what this town's doing.
Are you gonna prune all these trees?
Well, there's 40 in town.
There's 40 trees, right?
Yeah, that we planted.
Yeah, but what about
So
the
you're
cherry
gonna do-
tree or the crabapple trees?
Yeah, I think we did get a bid, right?
Well, it's been a long time, but we have to rebid it, because we obviously, we have to post it, because Ben bid it in, is it what's that tree company that's in Wassaic? Is it Lewis?
Lee's Trees?
Lee's Trees.
Well,
They did it.
I think what we need to do is do an inventory of what all needs to be done. I know,
Well, we walked it with all of them, you know.
You did?
Right.
so if we could find that bid and maybe use that to find additional bids, that would be good. I thought we were going to amend the highway budget and add a line for
We will.
CDBG and
Next-
FEMA.
Yep.
Could we also add a line for that third-party maintenance cleanup that John Fenton's, because if we're tightening up on zoning, and this is a reality that when people don't meet their deadlines and they default, then we are going to have to clean this property up and bill them and put it on their property bill. So if we find out what the appropriate line is, go ahead and add it to John Fenton's building district lines, so that we can do that in the right way. Am I wrong, or do we need a second volunteer for the rec commission?
Yes, we do, and it's
It's been advertised.
It's been
and they're due
advertised.
on March
March
21st,
21, okay.
21st at noon.
And we have applicants?
None at this time. Several have come in for the application, but none have been returned.
Could I extend that to the 15th deadline, and I'll include that in the press release for
Sure.
the town board
Okay.
members and a rec commission member, because I think that's important that we fill that. So we're going to extend rec commission, volunteers, applicants. You can, the deadline is now April 15th.
Also, while we're doing this, we should probably look at consolidating some of these committees, because you have like
We have too many, yeah.
we have too many committees.
And we'll
we're
have to
not get-
reassign CJ's
Correct,
once we
correct.
hire. or
Once we
get him.
hire, it's gotta be reassigned.
Yep.
I'm drawing a blank tonight.
The housing
You're
committee
thinking
and
housing.
the
Should be joint,
affordable housing. We've
Correct.
got two
two that
distinct
overlap
ones.
one
Yeah.
another. The downtown area should probably go on to the enhancement committee. The
Oh, yeah, that was a
Fountain
special.
Square.
Fountain Square. We're just not getting the volunteers. They've been advertised for months. I think we're still missing one from ZBA.
ZBA is missing one.
You can add that to your,
Oh,
I can
we
email
need
you
a
the list.
person? We need a person for that?
I can email you the list that I sent out in January and February that we've had no responses on.
Okay, that'd be great. That would be great.
We probably should put it on Channel 22 also.
been on.
It's been on that, it's been on our website.
It's not on now, though, is it?
No, because at the last meeting when I asked if we wanted to continue, we all kind of.
Well, we need to put it on it.
So re-put it back on?
Yes.
And can we just say in general, all of these applicants need to be submitted by April 15th, and then we'll
Sure.
just do a
Yes.
major interview session
Okay.
thereafter? Okay. Don't forget to come to the fundraiser that Peter Cascone has worked very hard on Saturday, March 30th, here at the town music hall, I guess, at 7 p.m. There's band and acoustics, and it's,
There's multiple bands.
is it $20?
Multiple bands.
Lots of bands.
Lots of bands.
Going on from 7 until midnight, as I understand. Is there someone who's going to let him in and out of the building, or
Yeah.
is that something?
We're working on that.
Okay.
You want the early shift or the late shift?
I'll do the late shift, because I've got a birthday party, and it's going to be over by 10. So,
How many teenagers?
one 16-year-old.
So this is getting wound up by 10 o'clock.
Yeah. Not this one. We're still very tame.
There was a typo in a hometown. They had a street number that's south of me. They didn't have the right street number for the town hall. So what's the town hall street number? Just tell people to come there.
4988, Route 22.
Okay, that's it.
Easter Bunny's here that morning.
And don't forget the Easter egg hunt, which is March 30th at 10 o'clock and over by noon. Is that right? Or
When you come to see the
noonish?
Easter Bunny and all the eggs and the children go out to run, you want to be on time. It starts at 10 a.m.
It's over at 10:01.
The Easter Bunny only has so many eggs.
Yeah, that's a very, very important point. This is not one that you want to show up 5 minutes late.
Last year we were inside and it was like less than 5 minutes and everybody comes
Yeah.
running back.
There's no grace period.
It's a lot of fun.
That's all I have.
Just one other thing, I did have another contractor here to look at, we have an issue with the furnace. Our last furnace is dying,
I mean the boiler.
the boiler. So they got a jerry rig to work. We were out of fuel, or not out of fuel, but out of heat for 2 or 3 days.
It was very
Really?
cold in the building.
Really?
So, so I did have Kirchhoff Construction here the other day, and they walked through the whole thing, so they're gonna give us some kind of an idea what we're looking at, so. Also, I called Troy Boiler, they're coming back down to take another look at these things and see what we have to do, what we can do. Can we get some quotes as to where we are with this thing?
So by April, we're going to be ready to roll, or we may have to do something before then.
No, I think he's got it, it's working. Something went wrong, and I drove the kid to get the part, didn't have the part, so they took the other old boiler apart, so we're scavenging parts from that one to make this one work. So that's what he's done, so it's working. So, we're on our, okay, I'll make a motion, we adjourn the meeting.
I'll second it.
Councilwoman Brody?
Yes.
Councilwoman Doyle?
Yes.
Supervisor Flood?
Yes. Thank you all.